Okay, hello and welcome to another motorcycle feature. So this is the part 2. We have the 457 there, we're done with that. Now we have the RS660 Extrema. So I'll just put the specs in the screen for you to check out. So let's go. So you can see the beautiful screen here. It's like that. So the feels and the overall finish of the RS660 is way different with the 457. So this feels a lot more premium. There is some similarity with the finish, that it's like it has a satin coat over the aluminum frame. That's why it's looking like that. Anyway, let's go. So you have a Brembo master cylinder over here that's adjustable. Your clutch lever is non-adjustable. You have cruise control, you have directional buttons. Okay, and then for the ride modes you can change it here: individual, commute, and then dynamic. So what's this? That's for your lights, and then you have your horn. And then passing light is like that. Okay, so let's go. So for a parallel twin, expect this to be really punchy. If you need acceleration, this bike can provide. Finding neutral, I tested this earlier, is easy. By the way, my height is 5'6" with a 30-inch inseam. And there, we can also find neutral that easy. And then what you see here is the Chigi XR2. This is the more compact version of the AIO5 Lite. So for controls, the clutch is a bit heavier than your conventional 650 platforms, which is understandable. I love the design of the dashboard. It's really clean. So my friend over here is using the 457 from the last episode. He says it's okay. So compared to the 457, this has more adjustments for your suspension. And then I haven't mentioned about the steering of the 457, but it's more manageable compared to this one because this is like a dedicated clip-ons already. But the thing about it, it's not actually a clip-on. This is connected to the upper part of the fork itself. The owner said there's a squeak on the rear. I'm trying to hear it, but I don't hear it that much. Yeah, I mean, and then as you can see here, it automatically adjusted during the transition from light to dark because I'm in a low light area. So let's test the brakes from the 675 6R test ride. The ABS activated here, and yeah, the rear brakes work fine here. I love the acceleration of this thing. The low rumble is really good. And then when you're finding neutral, what I try to do is I pull the clutch all the way in, and then you can easily find it. I like the XR2, matching the overall aesthetics of the bike. There's a big leap in terms of the quality of the two bikes. And then unlike the 457, this will actually tell you if you're going right or left, like that. For your turn indicator, yeah, the ergonomics for this one is manageable, but then again, I've tested a lot of motorcycles, so my perspective of bikes can be distorted. But yeah, compared to other models, versus the SR675, it's sort of similar, but the 675 has a more upright position. I don't think it's a good comparison overall, because that thing is a triple cylinder, this one is a twin. It packs a lot of punch. More like, the best way I can explain is it's more of an aggressive 457. It's an adult 457. It has usable torque, usable power for the city. The ergonomic is not that bad, and I like how I operate from full stop and how the bike just performs. So there's lots of acceleration. There are times where I stall the bike because I miscalculated how to mix the throttle and the clutch, but for this kind of engine I don't think it will do that. So I can feel a bit of engine heat going on. If you're stalled in traffic, or if you're idle in traffic, you can feel the engine heat, but it's not that bad. But given we've just been riding this for a few minutes, that's also a source of information, given you only have a short running time and you can already feel the engine heat. I love the sound of this thing. So for the things about the steering, this feels kind of different, because unlike the 675 SR, it feels like I need to counter steer some more. But this one, it's like you're steering normally. Brake test, I don't know if you can hear it, but that engine is popping. If I'm going to choose between the RSV4 or this one for a more practical use, I'd pick this one. But if you want more of a relaxed position, there's always the Tuono. Yeah. Kung ako siya, hindi ko bebenta to. Pagpa-practicean ko talaga to, i-enjoy ko. Maapoy ba? Tara, tara. I'm very fortunate to test the Aprilia RS660, and not just a regular RS660. This is the Extrema. So I'm really happy. Thank you to Brother Ray for letting me experience this. Such a lovely experience with the RS660. Braking is phenomenal on this thing, because it's a Brembo. The only hard thing about this one is, since it comes with the SC Project tailpipe, you don't need to spend that much already, and it looks good complementing the bike. Damn. Maybe if there's a Tuono, I'll get one.
Meron kang mag-ipon. Wala sa idle, wala eh, pero sa running
Meron, no?
ganda ng tulo.
Tara. Okay, so that's for the RS660. The side stand on this thing is just really low. Look at it. Look how beautiful the SC Project is for the RS660. It's complementing the overall design. Sure, it has some textures over here, but the carbon fiber actually looks well blended with the overall design of the RS660. And in my opinion, the Extrema has one of the most appealing looking livery for the RS660 line. Just look how good it is. The Brembo really works great on this one. Of course, the engine heat is more prominent. You can feel it even here, but it's a sort of a manageable one. I enjoy it. I like it. I like the power of this thing. The torque, the acceleration is very ideal for the streets. Maybe for the Tuono you have a higher handlebar. That is more practical for this thing, but yeah, it's a good one. So this is a very enjoyable experience. Thank you to Brother Ray for letting us test the 457 and the RS660.